I barely have any apps installed on my phone, but just look at this Huawei Trifold screen. I can't say a single good thing about it. I mean, I have so few apps installed, and it's already lagging like this. If I say anything honest, people just attack me for it. I've only been using it for about 10 days, and the hinge is already making loud creaking noises. Plus, the noise-canceling earbuds they included have this static sound. Guys, I don't want to complain anymore, but I only use it for WeChat and Douyin, and I barely open any other apps. It's already lagging so much, it's unusable. What's there to say? Even when charging, the battery drains. All I do is play a game or use WeChat, and it starts losing power while charging. On October 19th, a user from Henan shared online that his Huawei Trifold phone, after less than 10 days of use, was already experiencing 4 issues. The hinge made loud friction sounds, the earbuds had static, and the phone lagged even with only a few apps installed. Most concerning, he said, was that the battery drained even while charging. The video sparked heated discussions online. One person commented, "Consider it a stupidity tax. There's nothing to complain about. He deserved this for his intelligence level." Others mocked the situation, saying, "Domestic products aren't easy to make. Just deal with it." Another person remarked, "Buying a Huawei Trifold isn't about usability, it's about patriotism. Understand that, and you won't complain." During a live stream, Wang Chuan, known for his patriotic opinions, claimed his Huawei Trifold phone has suddenly malfunctioned. Screenshots of this were shared widely on Chinese TikTok, Douyin. Previously, Wang Chuan would often take his Huawei Trifold into Apple stores to stage photo shoots, ignoring staff who tried to stop him and the confused stares of customers. He flaunted his patriotism and mocked others using Apple products. But within 2 weeks of using the Huawei Trifold, his phone broke and he went silent online, avoiding any further bragging. In the comments, one person wrote, "These die-hard buyers should buy more Huawei products. Let them learn what is pain, what scams are, and the real cost of patriotism. Then they'll see who the real frauds are." Look at this Huawei Trifold screen. It costs tens of thousands. And this is the quality you get? I barely even used it, and the screen already has creases and peeling. What is this junk? It's not just worth it. Look at these creases. What are you supposed to do with that? What kind of phone is this? The quality is terrible. The screen is already folding. Recently, a man shared his experience with a red Huawei Trifold phone he bought. He said he spent tens of thousands, but within just over a month, a white crease appeared on the fold. The video showed the crease, which looked like the mark left when bending transparent plastic. One fold had a noticeable crease, while the other had a faint line. The man complained that he barely used the phone, yet the problem showed up already.
I couldn't wait to get my hands on the Huawei Mate XT Trifold. I'm probably the first in Chongqing to buy one secondhand. Jealous, guys? This is a real order. Why did the user want to sell it? Whoa, it's so thin. The Huawei Mate XT Trifold.
I'm telling you, this phone is just awful to use.
Awful? It's so in demand that people paid a premium to get one.
It's awful to use.
The screen is like a tablet, super big. The 16GB plus the 512GB version must be around 23,000. Let me check. 28,999 yuan.
It's awful to use.
What makes it so bad?
It's heavy, you know, and the screen has to fold 3 times.
But it's a trifold, so of course it folds 3 times. I feel like it's been folded too much. It's a bit bent and flipped outward.
Inner fold uses the Mate X5 hinge, and the outer flip uses a crystal hinge, so it ends up not straight.
The user tested it for 15 days and said it was very difficult to use, mainly because of the folding.
I just can't deal with this design.
Maybe it's not convenient for everyday use. Hey, how did you know I just bought a second-hand trifold?
User feedback on the Huawei Trifold suggests that its complex design makes it difficult to use. Tasks that a regular smartphone handles effortlessly now require 3 steps. Users question who has time to keep folding and unfolding a phone. The goal of technology should be to prioritize convenience, and customers care more about practical features and details. Huawei launched the Mate XT on September 20th, priced between 20,000 yuan and 24,000 yuan. This phone wasn't meant for the average consumer, but just a month after its release, many users uploaded videos complaining that their new Huawei Trifold phones had multiple issues. I've had this Huawei Trifold for 11 days, and it started acting up last night. There was no bumping, no squeezing, no drops. It just ended up like this. The folding screen is just too fragile. No matter how you fold it, it starts leaking. The folding screens are having a problem with leaking, where a black spot appears along the central fold. Phone repair technicians note that they have seen many issues with foldable screens, saying the failure rate is quite high. Many people have asked about repairing foldable screens, but most don't go through with it because replacements are too expensive. Huawei's release of the Mate X-T Trifold generated buzz both in China and internationally. However, many users concluded it was flashy but impractical, with a high price tag and no real benefits to China's smartphone industry. After getting the Mate X-T, a man was so excited he took it to a party that night. During the gathering, his friends were curious about the new technology, so he eagerly showed it off, but after a few drinks, he accidentally folded the phone the wrong way. To save face, he applied more force, and the screen ended up breaking. That sobered him up instantly, and he felt heartbroken. One comment summed it up. "This is exactly why I don't buy these. I'm scared something like this will happen. I really can't figure out how to fold them." Several users complained they felt scammed, saying the 30,000 yuan phones turned out to be disposable. Some sarcastically remarked, "Huawei is leading the way again, but this time with product defects." Other users pointed out that Huawei's earlier claims of seamless folding were just marketing. In reality, the product did not live up to expectations. The issue has reignited discussions about the quality and durability of foldable phones. Most foldable phones on the market today suffer from visible creases and are prone to damage. A device with such a high price shouldn't encounter issues so quickly, leaving many buyers frustrated. Huawei's Trifold phone initially received praise, but then faced a harsh reality. This result wasn't surprising. The company had a stockpile of 1 million units, and within 5 days of launch, 6 million pre-orders came in, with scalpers hoping to profit big. Prices even hit 100,000 yuan at one point, but once the phone was released, users rushed to complain, with returns outpacing orders. Problems like creases, lagging, poor battery life, and weak signals turned into a high-tech disaster. The real question is not about the innovation of a trifold design. The user experience has already provided a clear answer. They're flashy but impractical. Folding the phone results in significant lag, prompting second thoughts for many buyers. Despite claims of a seamless design, the screen's creases remain as visible as wrinkles, quickly shattering expectations. In November 2019, Huawei launched its first foldable smartphone, the Mate X, which used an outward folding design. This left its flexible screen exposed, affecting durability. The issue still hasn't been resolved. The Mate X's user manual also warned against using the device in temperatures below -5 degrees Celsius, which only added to concerns about its durability. Moreover, foldable phones still face many challenges, and the design remains far from mature. To make them foldable, manufacturers had to use complex hinges with many moving parts, which led to problems like dust and water seeping in. Another unresolved issue is that, after years of development, companies still haven't figured out why users need foldable phones or what unique advantages they offer. Foldable phones might look futuristic, but they only end up being headaches for users. Initially, the industry thought the key issue for Huawei's Trifold would be hinge durability. Foldable phones are defined by constant folding, so it's crucial to make the hinges last. One user pointed out several flaws with the Huawei Mate X-T. Why wouldn't Huawei and the media openly address these points? First, there's no waterproof or dustproof design. Second, there's no drop testing. Third, there's no bend testing. Fourth, it uses a 5-year-old 9010 chipset. Fifth, the 298-gram body is heavier than regular phones, and it's too thick when folded, making it inconvenient. Sixth, the 2 visible creases raise questions about durability. 7, the battery life is terrible, only lasting about 5 hours. For such a large screen, Even a 5,600 milliamp hour battery isn't enough, and it heats up easily. Huawei's recent stumble mainly comes from its own overconfidence. In trying to make something cool and futuristic, it overlooked the basics. In essence, the triple fold wasn't the issue. The real problem was that the phone didn't bring any practical benefits to users. The smartphone competition has reached a point where details matter. Simply stacking hardware won't win. Users care more about smooth operating systems, high-quality screens, long-lasting batteries, and stable signals. These basic features are what decide market trends. Huawei tried to create buzz but forgot to master the basics, leading to returns and negative reviews. Many buyers noted that when folded, the Trifold phone is bulkier and heavier than a standard smartphone, which reduces portability. Huawei has struggled with perception of being expensive and having subpar software, and this reputation has stuck. Today's tech-savvy users can easily spot half-baked products. If a company tries to market a gimmicky product, consumers won't buy it. If you get a foldable phone that looks cool but falls short in real-world use, would you still trust this innovation? A brand's damaged reputation is hard to repair, just like a nail leaving a hole in wood. Once trust is lost, regaining it is difficult. Over the years, many Chinese smartphone brands have introduced eye-catching designs to attract buyers, but often these innovations weren't based on user needs. Huawei released the Mate X-T on the same day as Apple's iPhone 16, with both launching on September 20th. A one-time coincidence might be excusable, but twice seems deliberate. It's no surprise that industry insiders believe Huawei was aiming to directly challenge Apple. Unfortunately, this time Huawei came up short. Since the iPhone 16 series launched, it has performed surprisingly well in China. According to Counterpoint's latest data, sales of the iPhone 16 series in China during the first 3 weeks were 20% higher than the previous iPhone 15 series. The high-end Pro version was especially popular, with a 44% increase in sales. Although it's only been 3 weeks, the data shows that Apple is seeing better sales this year compared to last. Counterpoint analyst Yvonne Lam said that iPhone 16 continues to sell well with steady demand. Thanks to stable production, consistent pricing, and an early wave of upgrades among existing users, the iPhone 16 series has experienced significant growth in the Chinese market. A report from Canalys indicated that Apple set a new shipment record for the third quarter, largely because of the iPhone 16 series. Apple's growth outpaced domestic brands, with Huawei, Xiaomi, Vivo, Honor, and Oppo ranking from second to sixth. Recently, JD.com released a list of top-selling phones priced over 6,000 yuan, with Apple dominating the top three. The iPhone 15 Pro Max took first, the iPhone 16 Pro Max second, and the iPhone 16 Pro third. This shows Apple's clear lead over domestic brands. Industry analysts said the rise in Apple's market share is partly due to price adjustments. For example, Apple's official store announced discounts for the upcoming Double 11 shopping event. The iPhone 16 series has discounts up to 1,600 yuan, including trade-in deals, and all 4 models are discounted by 500 yuan. China remains an important market for Apple, accounting for about 17.5% of its global sales this year. The rise in iPhone 16 sales in China is a significant positive sign for the company. The competition between Huawei and Apple has once again sparked debate online. Some people felt that Huawei was trying to stand up to Apple in the US, but continued its trend of flashy, impractical designs. This was seen as linked to China's economic slowdown and rising nationalism. One comment summed it up: domestic phones just can't compete with Apple. Between Huawei and Apple, which one would you choose? iPhone's the king here. The iPhone 16's been out for a while, and I don't know how the sales are, but if you look back, their innovations just crushed Huawei's Trifold. First, it's about color. Apple's been creative with their colors, while Huawei only has black and red. Second, there's the button innovation. Apple added a photo button. Most domestic phones only let you tap the screen to take photos, which is really inconvenient. But Apple added a physical photo button. Never seen that before. Never. The third big innovation is even better. Apple's screen bezels are now thinner. And the fourth is the regular iPhone camera, which is back to the 2017 iPhone X design. Apple phones run smoother, so compared to this, Huawei's foldable doesn't really have any innovation to speak of. I'd ask those patriots to stop trying to hype it up. And those fake pre-orders in the millions, it just proves domestic phones will never beat Apple. Anyone with common sense wouldn't buy a domestic phone.